Howdy folks, John Ojaka here from TunePipe, and in this video I'm going to walk you through a brand new funnel strategy and page template that we've just introduced to TunePipe, and that is our new crowdfunding templates. So in a nutshell, we're all familiar with crowdfunding. Musicians use crowdfunding to generate money through one-off crowdfunding campaigns, perhaps to raise funds for, say, an album or a tour or whatever it is that you may need to get a little bit of help with from your fans in advance of the product coming out, or we might create a sort of monthly tiered kind of campaign where we ask for fans to become patrons effectively and back our project, where perhaps once a month we release music and we charge different amounts of money for different tiers, and we give them special access to whatever it is that we create. So you guys are already familiar with this, and you use many of the popular platforms that are on the market to do this. And they're good platforms. They've served the market well over the years, but there is a downside, and that's that they charge you a lot of money. Well, actually, there are a few downsides. One is that they can charge you a lot of money. Sometimes they take up to 20%, depending on the platform and where you are, after processing fees, and that's a lot of your money. You earn $10,000, and they take 2 of it. That's things. At TunePipe, we don't take any transaction fees. Your payment processor is going to charge you whatever they charge you, but that's usually just a few percentage points, and it's much more insignificant than what the crowdfunding platforms are charging. And the other drawback is that they control the experience. It is their platform that you're sending your traffic to, your customers to. They're monetizing that traffic in other ways. They're controlling how your music is shared and experienced. And what you can do with TunePipe is create a completely custom experience for you, your music, your brand, your offer, and you can completely control that experience. You get the leads, you set up the automations, there's no distractions where they might start browsing other artists and you might lose that sale. You can send people into whatever kind of follow-up funnel that you want to really truly maximize the profit potential of each conversion, of each action. And again, now you can do all of that right here in TunePipe and keep the maximum amount of money possible. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. I'm going to pop on over to my browser now and show you how you do it. All right, here we are in my browser, and we're going to kind of do this in reverse. I'm going to show you what we're going to do, then we're going to go and do it. So this is the crowdfunding template, or more specifically, the template is named Fun Starter. Each of our templates has its own name. So you can see here it's all pretty straightforward. We've got our header and call to action button, our pitch video, our stats, call to action buttons throughout. We've got a mid-page menu, which is common amongst some of the other platforms out there. Social links, our packages here, and a bit of a bio there, a breakdown of rewards, and an FAQ. And I want to stress, all of this is flexible. I am not necessarily expecting you to stick with this design or these colors or even these elements. You can strip it back, change it, customize it, do anything you want. But it looks pretty good out of the box. Now we're going to pop on over to my TunePipe account, and I'm going to show you how to build one of these things. So here we are in my TunePipe account. And again, you have options. I'm going to get the simplest out of the way. Let's say you're a website-only user, or you just want to add one of these pages to an existing website as opposed to funnels. You would simply come to Pages. You would click Add New, click Page, come down here to Miscellaneous. They're currently under Miscellaneous. If you don't see it here, it means I've created a crowdfunding category, because as we get more of these, that may happen. But right now, it's under Miscellaneous. We click Select. We give it a name. I'll just call it CF Test. Click Add. And it is created. Now you may notice some of those colors just changed from an orange to sort of a soft pink. That is because, and the font here has changed, that is because it has been added to my website, and my website is controlled by the global style settings. It's very easy to change that. If you want to go back to the default fonts, you can change it to anything you want there, and of course the colors can be edited there. So that's completely up to you, but you're going to now go through each one of these elements, change things, add products, and everything else. And from here, the process is basically the same, at least in terms of editing. So I'm going to show you how to do that with a funnel. So to create a crowdfunding funnel, which is a little more involved, we come over here, we click on funnels, click create funnel, we come down to crowdfunding, and here we see our template, the Fun Starter template. We click select. I'm going to call this, I don't know, Fun Starter example. Click save. And here we are. Now we're in the builder. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you're a TunePipe user, everything is extremely easy to use. I think it's one of the most elegant drag and drop builders out there. We just click on whatever we want to change and we change it. You want to move things around, you grab the handlebars. You want to swap things in order, you just drag them where you want them to go. But the lessons on the builder are for another video. Let's get into this template. Now, one of the first things you want to do, I'm just going to save that. One of the first things you want to do is decide if you want your funnel to exist inside of your website or outside of your website. By default, it will be separate, but that means it will have its own store, it will have its own lists, it will have its own tags and automations and products, and it will mean that you need to do a lot more work, and the two email lists won't communicate with one another, and you're probably going to want them to. For example, you might want to exclude people who've backed this project from promotions about this project. And so for 98% of you, it's going to be a good idea to add your funnel to your website, and we would do that by coming to the to the funnel settings and click move to website in this project. And you want to do that first, because if you do all this work, set up automations, and try to move it later, you'll lose those automations. They'll effectively be left behind, and it will pick up the lists and automations and other assets of the website you move it to. Important to know. But once you've decided, and for this example, I'm going to leave it separate, and if you're a label or manager or managing unconnected projects, you might want to leave them separate. So I'm going to leave it separate just because it's a little cleaner for this example. And now I need to think about what it is I'm offering. We'll go through each one of these sections here in a second. But what do we want to offer? Are we offering a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3? Is this a one-off, more of a fund this album, please kind of project, or is it give me a certain amount of money each month for new music that I'm going to constantly release? So you need to think through your offer and eventually put together your pitch video to really sell it to your fans. And then we need to create products in our store so that we can charge people for each one of these tiers. That's how we make our money, as we create products for each one of the offers. So we come to the store. We're going to do that first. It's saying it's disabled because I haven't activated this site yet. I'm going to click yes. And now I'm going to come to products. And now I'm going to click add product. In most situations, with a crowdfunding campaign, we probably wouldn't want to select digital products, even if it was a digital product. That means that the system's going to take over and immediately deliver something. You may want that, but in most applications you wouldn't. And then we've got physical products, and if you're delivering something, then you may want to add that, because you'll have the ability inside of your dashboard to mark people as shipped and send out shipping notices and everything else. If you want to keep things sort of clean, you can go with service, even though it's not technically a service. This just strips all that stuff away, and then you can go in and create an email automation using our email marketing tool to deliver whatever messages you want to go out when it's time to deliver the goods. And a really exciting fourth option is the membership. Now, this is for those users who want to create password protected areas where we distribute content. And this comes in really handy when we're doing the sort of patron style campaign. Perhaps you're creating a members area that has a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, however many tiers you want, and you've got a different price tag on each bit of content. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to use this as an example because it's the most exciting and interesting and dynamic, and it has the most moving parts. We click that. Let's see. Actually, before we do that, we come to contacts. We come down here and we click add group. I'm going to call this tier 1, and I'm going to click submit. And we can add another one if we wanted, tier 2, and we click submit. And if we wanted, we could click another one, tier 3. Whatever you want to do. And now let's go back to our store and let's click create a product. And let's call this tier 1. And you can add a picture, which you probably should. Maybe we want to charge $3 a month. Let's call it a subscription. Again, you don't have to if it's not this kind of a campaign, but we want to charge people once every month. And you have lots of options there. You can set by weeks or months. And we click submit. You have more options, as you can see here. What kind of product is this? We want to come down to membership. And we want to click select, and we want to click tier 1, and we click confirm, and we go through these other options. Maybe you want to tag people, create a tag, membership, that's one tag, add a new tag, tier 1. We can set up automations at a later date for something like that. Click confirm. And then we save our changes. Now, what we want to do is come back to, in this case, we're going to come back to our funnel, or we're going to come back to the builder, actually. We're going to come back to our funnel steps. Now, most of you will be working in a website, so you wouldn't add what I'm about to add in the funnel. You'd add it to a web page within your website, but you can do it in either place, and I have not added this funnel to a website, so I'm left to do it here in the funnel steps. So I would just come and click add new step, click page, click membership, choose a page design that you like. I like this one. I'm going to call it tier 1. Click, I'm going to come actually here to page access. I'm going to select members only. I'm going to choose a member group. I'm going to select tier 1. I'm going to click confirm and click add. And I've just created a membership site. I'd have to come in here and, edit all these links, add my content. But now this is password protected. And when anyone comes to this page here, whoops, I've just clicked on the pop-up, which I haven't even shown you yet. But when anyone comes here and orders, once it loads, I can show you, orders my tier 1 product, once I add it, which I'm about to show you how to do, then they would get access to that members area. They'd be asked to create a password, their email would become the username, and they would get exclusive access to whatever content you put into that page. Now, I know I'm going through this quickly. I've got lots of tutorials in the Learning Center that walk you through this a little more slowly, which you can check out on your own time. But let's come here and let's start editing some of these things. So again, we've got these all of these key features, which are pretty self-explanatory, but how do we take orders? So what we do in this instance is actually, let's just click discard. Let's come back to our funnel steps. Once that loads, we come here, we come to our tier 1 step. This is a pop-up. And what we're going to do is click on the settings there, click on products, select a product, add our product, and click confirm. And you'll want to create one product for each one of the tiers that you've got. So I'm going to click save. And what do you do if you want to add 6 tiers? All you do is come here, click settings, and click duplicate, and follow the same steps. So let's come back to the home page here, and we're going to come in here, and we're going to come down here, And actually, we don't need to do anything. By default, it's already programmed. You can see here, edit link, and we've got the funnel and funnel step tier 1 already selected. So now if I open this in a new tab, come down here, click fund this project, a pop-up opens, I enter my billing information. You can see here it says set password or log in if you're already a customer, and I place the order and I get redirected to whatever page I've set as my home page for that membership area. And we do all of that here. Again, back in contacts, we click on tier 1, we click show group settings, we click on the page we want to redirect to after login, we come to funnel, we select tier 1, and then we click select. And then we're good. So now anytime somebody orders tier 1, they're going to get taken to this page after they purchase or after they log in. You can easily add a login icon to the footer or homepage of your site, however you want to set that up. It's in our widgets. So let's come back to the builder just to go over a few more things. Everything in the builder in terms of design is pretty straightforward. You just, grab things, grab handlebars, move things around until they look the way you want them to ultimately look. Change colors by clicking on the blocks and editing colors, and add space dividers and all kinds of, there are all kinds of things that you can do. The only thing that takes further explanation are the funnel stats. So this is arguably a trade-off. Where you have the advantage with the other crowdfunding platforms of having all of these stats automatically updated. In TunePipe, you'll need to change these manually. You can come in daily or however often you want and update the total earned, the number of backers, and even potentially the number of days to go. This is the only one that's somewhat time sensitive, so if you don't want to update that manually, you can delete it, and you can actually, from our widgets, drag over a countdown timer, put that in place like so, a countdown to date. So let's say, I don't know, we'll just click the last day of this month. And then we'll come in here. Let's mess with the style a little bit. First, let's align to the left. Then let's come in here, click style, background color. I'm going to go white to match everything. Text color, I'm going to go orange to match everything. And then I'm also going to add the labels, and I'm just going to give it a little bit more room. And that's one option that you have there to get around that. So now you don't have to update that. Now, while it would be nice to have this automatically tick up, there are some benefits to this approach. While it is important to always be ethical and always state what is true with these numbers, I know that there are a lot of artists who feel very uncomfortable with the crowdfunding campaigns because there's this slow start. Not only does it look bad if you've got $10 donated and you're positioning yourself as a big rock star, but it also doesn't inspire people to back your project. It's such a problem that many artists donate to their own project in the beginning to get those numbers up. And with TunePipe, you don't necessarily have to come out of your own credit card and get zinged all those fees. You just come in and mentally pledge the amount and change it, knowing that you're going to back your project for the first $1,000 or whatever it is you want to do. And you click on this and you change it to that. Now, I hope to have automations in place at some point in the future, but I know this manual option is going to be preferred by many for the reasons I just stated. So that's really the only thing that you need to remember to do, but otherwise, you're ready to go. You need to come in, read every word, and check every image and make sure it does what you want, place a few test orders, add the different products to your different tiers. If you want to have more than 6 tiers, just come here, copy this to widgets. Now we can just drag that over from our did I say widgets? From our clipboard, and now we've got 6 different tiers there. So You can do anything you want with this, but with pretty minimal effort, you can be up and running your own crowdfunding campaign in no time, and you can be keeping all of that revenue, which again I think is huge. You've got the membership content management area built in here. You can make it look however you want and do whatever you want. Don't want to think it through, use our templates. But I love the flexibility this gives us. And again, when we're dealing with the big numbers that we typically are with our projects, even small artists are often generating $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for their albums, and to part with even 5% is painful. Think about how many albums sold that $1,500 might have been if you had to sacrifice even just 5% of 30 grand. And as I say, a lot of platforms take a lot more than that. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just get in touch by emailing support@tunepipe.com. If you'd like to try TunePipe and you're not already a user, head on over to tunepipe.com and take advantage of our free trial. Thanks for watching.